Justice Binta Fatima Nyako of the Federal High Court in Abuja has barred parties in the suit filed by suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan against the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, and three others from granting press interviews on issues relating to the case. The judge issued the order on Friday following a complaint by the lawyer to Akpabio, Kehinde Agunwumeji. The plaintiff was moving from one television house to another, granting press interviews on issues relating to her case, which is currently pending before the court. In a brief ruling, Justice Nyako said there shall be no press interviews by all parties and their lawyers regarding the case, the subject matter of the case. Justice Nyako also barred parties and their lawyers from engaging in streaming the proceedings of the case on social media. At the day's proceeding, counsel to the Senate President, Ogunwumeji, had complained that the plaintiff, which is Natasha, was moving from one television house to another, granting press interviews on issues relating to her case, currently pending before the court. He claimed that Natasha has been to the BBC and CNN to speak on the issue. Justice Nyako said, there shall be no press interviews by all parties and their lawyers as regards the subject matter of the case. Both of us, all of us are aware about the pending situation or between Natasha and Akpabio for a while now. I want to get your thoughts on this, Jiminy. Do you think this was actually a way to calm the dust of the whole situation that's been going on? Do you think this was a good step to take?
Okay, yes. Personally, I feel it's a good step. It's a good step because it's going to help reduce the tension on social media. I don't know if you've been following this case on social media. There are a lot of blogs carrying this case. A lot of people who wants to get involved with the case. Maybe some human rights. Like there was even a case I saw one on social media where I think the assembly or the senators had a fight with one of the former minister. I think one former minister like that, a woman.
Ezekwesili.
Yes.
It was a verbal altercation.
Just like a verbal, yes, a verbal issue with the man, with one of the senators. I think from is that number? Ebonyi State. Yes. It was an Igbo, the eastern side. So it's really important that this is a good move to help reduce the tension, because a lot of people are getting involved with the case and emotions are coming in. And when emotions come in like this, a lot might happen. Because I even saw a time where I think in Kogi State, where they actually requested she doesn't do the movement she did recently. I think there was some obstacle to it, but she later came and she did it. The crowd was massive and everything. And things like that could also cause more issue, where they can also use it as an avenue to cause more harm to our citizens, to our people in Nigeria. Because I'm even hearing they are even planning on conducting an election in this regard. So it's really important that they see how they could bring down the case or pressure it down so that it cannot escalate more than what it is now. Because cases like this could become a rival between states, because they are seeing it now. It's like Akpabio and Natasha. That's how they are seeing the case. It's not even between the senators and her, but it's supposed to be the senators, because from the case she insulted or she violated the laws of the Senate arm from the way the case is supposed to look like. But now it's now being like this about her and Akpabio. So it's really important that this case should be pressured, that when the courts get involved and see how they can manage it and help make everybody's justice be served. If she has any evidence, as she has always been saying, she says she has an evidence to back her claims, she could use those evidence against him in courts. So it's good she see how to gather more evidence to her claims than granting interviews that might not end up helping, because if the court gives a contra verdict to that case, she changes nothing. So that's my own view on this particular issue.
Okay, thank you on your thoughts on that, Chiminim. I would love to get your thoughts on this, Mr. Kilsey, please.
Well, The senior advocate representing Akpabio is very smart. He's a very smart man. All he's doing is to, just like Chiminem said, it's a douse the tension surrounding the matter. You know it now. Nigerians, as it were, want Akpabio's head on the guillotine, and they were going to get it. I'm not sure they are not going to get it at the end of the day. But I think he's very smart, senior advocate. He's trying to douse the tension. The more we don't get those interviews on TV, you know, and everywhere, and on social media, the more Nigerians will tend to forget about the matter. Of course, that will give the judiciary, you know, space to actually take care of the matter, and not being influenced by social media verdicts, as the case may be. Whatever it is, that is what it is. They are trying to, I think the idea is to give him a bit of a face, is to give the Senate President a bit of a face where the matter can go on the way it should be. Well, whatever they are going to do, I'm not a lawyer. It is also good that we don't have this matter, you know, taken every now and then, everywhere, on every platform, because it is sub judice right now, subjudicial. Right now, the matter is subjudicial because it is in court, and there are judges. A judge is handling it, so the decision is not bad. At the end of the day, there are two things we are going to see. It's either the truth will be decided, or it will be handled in a way as to give the authorities a face. There is no doubt about what we see in Nigeria right now. So sometimes matters are being technically approached to give the authorities, you know, the upper hand. Okay. But that is not for us to discuss.
Okay, from the first discussion we had about the Delta State story, we referred to justice probably not going to get served to that particular child that was victimized by her father. If we have to look at it from a different angle, I am not going to say this was a bad move by Binta, you know, putting a bar on the press interviews for Natasha Akpabio and others over this incident. If we have to look at it from a different angle, do we feel that Natasha feels she might not get justice? Because she has said oftentimes that she has evidence backing her claims that she was literally assaulted by the senator or the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, and probably because of the whole, like you stated, she violated the Senate's rules at the first instance when she wasn't supposed to speak in that manner, and even when she was asked to come, she didn't listen. You know, the military rule, the first rule is obey before complain. Always obey first before you state whatever it is on your mind. She erred on that part. If we have to look at it, do we say that Natasha is not taking a step back? She's not calming the whole atmosphere because she feels she will not get the justice that she would want to eventually. You know, she went to BBC at some point. She has gone to CNN and she went to the UN to lay all of this complaints. Is that because because of the system, like you stated?
I think Natasha had reason to do what she did. I do not in any way. See, let me tell you, this talk about obey before complain, obey what? We're in a democracy, for crying out loud. Natasha, what happened at the Senate is something that happens at the Senate all the time. May the people say, I have not been a senator. I pray the day I'll get there, I will understand better. Yes, they say they've changed your seat. You are no longer sitting there. I mean, I was sitting here yesterday. Why have you moved me? People have argued about the change about the fact that the Senate administration changed their seat
okay,
at one time
referring
or the
to
other.
that, I'm trying to correct you. I think I saw an old video that was released about the
about the present Senate,
yes,
Senate president
yes,
complaining about the fact that his seat was changed, apparently without his knowledge. So what was different about Natasha's attitude? There was nothing wrong with that. Let's see, this is democracy. In democracy, people talk about their rights.
Do we still practice democracy?
That is it. That is it. That is what we should be. That is what we should be standing up against as far as this regime is concerned. Because since 2015, this our democracy, our cherished, some of our most cherished values have been on the decline, and it keeps happening. If we do not speak up now, very soon, people with power will so abuse that power in a way and manner that our democracy will be completely compromised. And let me tell you, let's not pretend about it. We can be in Nigeria and pretend the world is watching, and they are reading. I will tell you something that happened in 1993 when Abiola was, widely believed to have won the election. And of course, it was not announced, so it was a wide belief, and something was happening. President Babangida came to address the joint session of the National Assembly. Do you know what happened? When he got into the chambers of the National Assembly to address them, while he was doing that, while he was talking about the fact that what do you call it? These democratic institutions like the National Assembly, the Center for Democratic Development or something, or Commission or something, that these institutions have been outlawed. That is, they are no longer in existence. And the National Assembly members were clapping their hands. And the concern of the international community was, were these people elected by the people to represent them? Why were they clapping their hands? For crying out loud, they come to tell you that your institution have been outlawed because it is no more going to be in existence. We have said that is taking you back into the military era, into dictatorship, full-blown dictatorship, and you're clapping your hands. So why are you clapping your hands anyway? And people think, you think that because it is one woman with a fair skin called Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan that is from Kogi State, who is this, and you think, no, it's not about her. It's not about her, it's about Nigerians. It's about the values that we cherish. It's about our democracy. And so, the people will not just say that, oh, she disobeyed the rules. But why should I talk about the fact that she disobeyed the rules? I'm not a member of the National Assembly. I'm not in the Senate. What if what I think that she was doing is not what was going on the floor of the Senate?
Because what we see is
what we're talking about. But I'm not a senator.
Yeah.
So why should I be the one to defend or not to defend? No. I want to see democracy, and that democracy that I'm going to see at play will be when things are properly done. And so when I go to a place, because things have been properly done, because the National Assembly is doing the right thing, it is playing out here where I go to in a way that I can appreciate that we have democracy. And so the international community were concerned about the fact that Nigerians who were freely elected to represent the people, their constituencies, were clapping for a military dictator. What they were supposed to do was to boo him and tell him that he cannot address them. But they were sitting down there and clapping. So what are you clapping for? So if a senator is unduly suspended or for any reason, like I said, I cannot speak for the Senate. I'm not a member of the Senate. Yes! These are the things that people... You see, democracy is... Auntie Chidima, we discussed this in the other day, and we said it here on this table. And we said democracy is about checks and balances.
Yes.
If the National Assembly is doing that, who is questioning the National Assembly? There should be a system. Why do we have, in places like US, they have FBI, they have police, there is still other ones, so there are still other ones that this one questions this one questions. Look at the way they grilled Donald Trump during his first tenure. 3 years, for 3 years. The inquiry was into his activities, what he did and what he did not do. By act or by commission or by omission. We have to find out why.
Okay.